Hello everybody, welcome to Donington Park here for the 6th race weekend here in this Formula B Project Cars career. We are just about getting ready for our first lap of the session here. We've had a spell of rain here and we've kind of been sitting around just waiting it out, hoping to get the chance to go out on slicks. I'm not really sure what everyone else has done so far, but obviously somebody's been putting in some times. We have not been out on track yet as we are about to start our first lap. And anyone who's ever really driven Donington will know it's a very bumpy track and there's not a whole lot of room for overtaking on this particular track. It's a very twisty and windy circuit and it's not very wide either. And what's more interesting is that you have a couple of these turns where you actually go uphill, meaning you cannot see the apex properly on turn-in. Very interesting to say the least. Coming through the chicane, just cutting the corner a little bit too much there, completely knocking the cone out of the way there. So good thing we didn't suffer any front wing damage there. I'm not really sure whether or not clipping a cone in Project Cars is ever going to hurt your front wing. If anybody's ever tried that, please let me know. A couple of really tricky U-turns here near the end, running a little wide in the final corner, clipping another few cones here as we come out on the main straight. And this is going to be our first time here in the qualifying session. Skipping right ahead to the next lap here, we've managed to put ourselves into 7th position right now, and as you can see, we're trying to improve on that, but the rain has started coming down again, and as such, we are unable to, unfortunately. So we're going to have to settle for starting 7th on the grid for tomorrow's race, and are going to have to work our way up the field. So anyway, here we are getting ready to get off the grid. Here we have Mike Mannion on our left shoulder there and Alex Charon directly ahead of us, and it's going to be interesting to see how we're going to get out of the gate here. Alex Charon almost appears to be standing still there. We almost have to brake to avoid crashing into him there, and as we are into the first turn there, Alex Charon kind of cutting the corner there. I'm not really sure what happened, but we're into P6 already. We have Mike Mannion directly ahead of us here, so a bad start for Alex Charon there, and definitely something to be happy about so far here. All we need to do right now is just survive these first couple of turns here, because obviously things are very hairy here right off the get-go. Mike Mannion and Lucas Sindel duking it out right in front of us there. Lucas Sindel ending up having to cut the corner there. Mike Mannion passes him and goes into P4 as Lucas Sindel was off track there for at least momentarily. We run very wide indeed there, and wouldn't you know it, Alex Charon dives right down the inside of us there along with Mark Cosens as we are down into P8 because of that mistake. We're going to have to go for the outbreak here heading into the chicane as we manage to outbrake Mark Cosens, and we are now back into P7. And headed into the U-turn here, Lucas Sindel running very wide indeed. We try and take the inside line there as we are going neck and neck into the final turn there. We're on the outside line there, and we are trying to turn into the corner there. Get a little bit of a bump there from Lucas Sindel. He has the inside line. There's nothing we can do about that. We're off track here as we are into P9, but thankfully no damage to the car. P10, beg your pardon. So a bit of a rocky lap there, some ups and downs to say the least, as we are jumping right ahead to lap 2 here. Coming into the U-turn one more time, taking the inside line here on Jose Vasquez, trying to see if we can't just dive down the inside. We can't make that stick, but we are right on his gearbox here, heading into the final turn. We're going to be taking the inside line just as Lucas Sindel did with us on the final lap here, see if we can't pass Jose Vasquez here, but we are unable to and remain in P10. Jumping ahead to lap 3 here on the back straight, trying to catch Jose Vasquez coming into the chicane. We're going to have a look down the inside, see if we can outbrake him here. We make it stick as we are back into P9. Coming into the second to last corner here, we miss our braking zone completely, run very wide indeed. Jose Vasquez is going to have a look down the inside there. We just managed to keep him behind us there, but only barely. And as you can see there, people are already starting to make their pit stops here, and it'll be interesting to see just how many positions we're going to be advancing. We are currently running in P8. Jumping ahead to lap 5 here, trying to catch Christian Steinhauser. He runs very wide in the second to last corner there. We almost managed to out-accelerate him here, heading out into the last corner here, but running very wide indeed, trying to take the inside line there. There's a bit of contact, and I'm not really sure what happened to Christian there. Maybe not an entirely fair move on our part. Skipping right ahead to lap 7 here, we have cars in the pits currently as we are advancing all kinds of positions. Currently into P5 here, trying to catch Lucas Zindel, who's about 2.5 seconds ahead of us right now. Jumping to lap 8 here, more cars have been into pit. We are currently running in P3. Things are going very well at the moment as we're trying to catch Alex Charon. He's about 3.5 seconds ahead of us. So obviously we're going to have to string together a set of very competitive laps here if we are to catch him. But as you might have noticed there, we have a bit of rain starting to fall on our visor right now. And that is going to be very interesting indeed, because as you might remember, the last time we saw any sort of rain here in this career, I ended up completely falling flat on my face just as soon as the rain started coming, and I'm not really sure how we're going to be reacting this time in terms of tires and pit stops. Skipping right ahead here, even though we still have the sun out on parts of the track here, the track is getting so wet that our slicks are definitely starting to lose grip here. So we're going to go in and we're going to be making the switch to the full wet compound. We're not going to be going for the intermediate here. Last time we did that, it ended up being completely insufficient, even though it only seemed that we had slight rain. So we're going to be going for the full wet compound, and then we're going to be seeing where that takes us. Rejoining the track here in P8, but obviously there must be cars ahead of us here who have not been in to make a pit stop and change to the wet compound yet. And skipping right ahead to lap 10 here, as you can see, we have several cars coming into the pits here. We advance all kinds of positions here, passing the pit lane, as we are now into P5, chasing our teammate Daniel Clayton, who's in P4. He's about 7 seconds up on us right now. Although we run off track here a couple of times consecutively, it does appear that the choice to go for the full wet compound here seemed to be the right one, because obviously we're putting in some very nice lap times at the moment here, and the car still seems to have grip even though the track is getting very wet. Jumping right ahead to lap 12 here, we are currently having troubles matching the pace here set by Mark Cosens, who is chasing us. He's about 4 seconds down on us right now, and he's been chopping off second after second for the last couple of laps there. And it appears that the conditions have not gotten any better. As a matter of fact, they've gone from bad to worse even. And at this point, it actually seems that we are starting to lose a little bit of grip, and I'm not really sure how this is going to work out, because obviously we have another compound of wet tires there for the extreme wet conditions, but surely we shouldn't be needing that right now. I mean, nobody else has gone into pit, so obviously I would believe we're still on the right compound here. On lap 14, we're being caught by Mark Cosens there, but apparently he goes into pit, and maybe he went in and made the change for the extreme wet compound. I can't be sure.
The gap to the leader is 7 seconds. Good job.
Jumping right ahead to lap 15 here, conditions are getting absolutely atrocious at this point here, and we are losing grip by the second here. This wet compound is not going to hold up in these conditions here. We are very, very light on the throttle coming out of turns here, and we are losing lots of time because of it. Still, I'm a little apprehensive about going in to make the change for the extreme wet compound. Obviously, I haven't really used those yet, so I'm not really sure what to expect from them there. And also, this rain could just let up in a few seconds or so. There's no real weather forecast around here, so I really don't want to go in and make this change for the extreme wet compound, even though we're skidding all over the place here on lap 17. We're going to be chased down here by the number 3 car of Christian Steinhauser, I believe it is. only just managing to keep it behind us here, but we are nursing the car through the turn. There's nothing we can do about that. It seems that he has much more grip than we do as we are into P3 here on lap 17, and things are just getting worse by the second here. Jumping ahead to lap 20, we are still in P3 here, but Christian Steinhauser's running away with things. Coming through the first turn here, we lose the car completely into the gravel bed there, having all kinds of trouble just trying to rejoin the track there. In the second we hit the patch of grass, this rear end of the car just goes off to nowhere, and we are losing all kinds of positions here just trying to get back on track here. Way down into P7 there, and it appears that we probably should have gone in and made the change for the extreme wet compound there as we had the chance. Got to chalk this one up to experience, it would seem. We're going to be trying to nurse the car back to the pits here to see if we can't make the change without losing way too many positions here, but things are not looking all that great at the moment. Coming through the chicane one more time, trying to short shift the car there, but again, the rear end is stepping out. We lose yet another position and yet another position. We are down into P10 here, trying to outbrake Alex Browner coming into the corner there, but he appears just to turn right into us, seemingly as we weren't there, and both cars are off the track here again as we are ending up way down in P15 here, and we haven't even made the switch for extreme wet tires yet. Skipping right ahead here, it appears that the rain is not going to let up in any way, so it appears that we have no other choice than try and go in and make the switch for the extreme wet compound. We'll have to see if we can chalk this race up to a learning experience. I haven't raced on the extreme wet compound yet, so this is going to be a first for me, and it's just going to be about learning here for the remainder of the race. And as you can see there, we are way down in P20th already, and there is absolutely no chance in hell we're going to be scoring any kinds of points here in this race. And at this point, our rhythm is so far out the window, we completely missed the downshift to fourth gear in this particular right-hand turn. We were off the track yet one more time, only just about avoid being torpedoed there by the front-running car. I'm not really sure who that is. But anyways, guys, I'm going to spare you the gory details there. Our guy Jim takes the win here ahead of our teammate Daniel Clayton, so at least some success for the team. Alex Charon rounding off the podium in third. And I guess rain in Project Cars is really going to be down to experience. It's going to be down to racing in the rain. It's going to be about reading the conditions right. And I guess this experience is a little frustrating sometimes, but not really much we can do about that. At any rate, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please don't forget to leave a like or subscribe to this channel for more Project Cars action, and I'll be seeing you soon enough. Bye-bye.